It says you're now live.
Hi, we're live! All right, we're going to
Cool.
give it a couple minutes to see people come in here.
So this is our first live.
This is our very first Go Live HQ Live.
Yes,
And
we've got Alyssa in the house. We've got Savannah in the house.
Alyssa's here. We've got,
Cool.
Love Sparkle Pretty. Oh, I like your Instagram handle. That's so cute.
Cool.
Oh my gosh, we've got a couple people coming in. So
Sweet.
we're going to just kind of give it a couple seconds
Alyssa
here.
says, hello.
Holla, to get people in on our live so that we don't miss out on anybody and so that we don't miss any really good information. But as you're coming on, we want to hear a little bit about where you're from and what you do. So tell
What you
us what city you're from and what industry you're in. We'd love to see it, and if you see somebody who's in your town or in your industry. And we are just so excited to be with you guys today.
We're really excited. Well, my name is Promise Tangeman Wurzel. It's got a hyphen in there.
Yeah.
And I'm the CEO and creative director at Go Live.
And I'm Hunter Rohr, and I'm the communications strategist at Go Live. It's just so fun. I've been with the team for 2 months now, so we're just killing it.
Slaying it.
It's really fun.
Killing it, and it's been so fun.
Super fun.
Hey, Chelsea.
Oh,
Good to see you.
We have,
I'm so excited.
Oh, we have got somebody
Vegas.
from Vegas.
And that's Chelsea.
How fun. Oh,
Cool.
Perfect.
Sweet. Okay,
goodness.
let's see. Do you have any? Okay.
We have beverages. I hope you guys have really good beverages.
Well, we only have
We
water.
only have
but
water because we have to be, live. But we hope that you guys have something really good or some coffee. We hope you have something fun.
Totally.
Oh my gosh.
So excited. But we are doing this in just celebration of our Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. And we've just been really blown away by the just the result of,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
of Black Friday. And we've done a live chat for the first time.
I think we were surprised by how much fun we had because we got to live chat with you guys while you're picking templates and figuring out which one was going to work for your business
Yeah,
and
it
for
was
your
really
style.
fun.
It was really fun.
And I feel like we also learned a lot about more about what you're looking for in templates, what we can do better on our website. And so anyway, live chatting with you guys was so much fun. We had a
So
really good time with
technically,
that.
our big sale ended yesterday, but in case you got our email and saw us on Instagram today, then you know that we extended the sale today with the code CYBERLIVE to still get 50% off. But we're gonna let you in on a little sneaky secret.
Oh, hey, Jared. I see you just joined. Jared.
What's up,
I was
Jared?
talking to him yesterday.
We have a sneaky secret because we are actually extending the sale exclusively to people who are in this Instagram live. So we are actually going to have the sale Cyber Live, all
Yeah.
caps, 50% off website templates.
All caps, no spaces.
All caps, no spaces, Cyber Live until 3 p.m. tomorrow Pacific time. So you can even get 50% off for even longer, and that is just because we were just having so much fun. We can't keep the sale away. We just love it.
It's been really fun. And I think more than anything, we love being able to help you launch what you love. And if we can do that through a sale and through answering your questions live online, that's been life-giving to us.
Yeah.
So
That's just so fun.
we love what we do.
So just a couple housekeeping things as we kind of get started with this and we have people joining in. If you have questions, feel free to comment them. We have people watching them, and so we are going to answer all of your questions at the end. So we are saving them, and then we're going to do a little Q&A with us at the end after we do our little spiel.
Exactly. So when a question pops in your head, just pop it in the comments, and
Don't worry, we won't miss it later.
yeah, we'll get to the questions. So
fun.
we're so excited.
All right.
Great.
Should we get started?
I think so. Yeah.
Perfect. So we are today dishing out our #1 way to take your brand to the next level before the new year, which is really important. The before the new year is super important.
Yeah, and that's something really at Go Live is something that we're all about is completing something, finishing something, starting something, and finishing it quickly, putting an end date to the calendar and getting it done. And that was really something that inspired me to start Go Live was I saw a bunch of other designers and just in the industry that would take months and months to help you guys launch a website, and I was like, we cannot be waiting that long to get back to doing what we're made to do. And so I was like, I think we can do this in 5 days, put a plan together, and that's where Go Live came to be. So we're all about completing and finishing. So when we looked at the days that we have left in the year, we're like, what can we do for our businesses? What can we tell you guys to do? What can we do for our business that can help us get ahead for this coming year.
Yeah, and we think too, this is such a prime time because December might be a time where you feel like you're ready to slow down, and we would just challenge you not to do that. We challenge you towards the end of the month, of course, take that time with family and with the holidays and everything, but here's a time to really dig in and get ready to just kill it in 2018.
Yeah, exactly. And so we put together a few things that you can do to really set your business up to sail and succeed next year in 2018. You can do this in the next 30 days. And they're simple things, easy things, but they'll really help your business. So, are you ready?
I'm ready for it.
Okay.
The number one tip.
Number one tip
To take your brand to the next level. What is it?
It is narrowing your niche.
I'm sorry, what? What
narrowing
is that?
your niche.
Narrowing your niche. Also called a niche sometimes.
Also called a niche. I used to call it a niche, but I think niche sounds a little sexier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
So, and you've probably heard a lot of people talking about narrowing your niche or narrowing your niche, and you're like, meh, 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 meh. Okay, so when I started my business, I did everything under the sun because I just needed to get work, right?
25 different things, basically.
I had a photography business, and I did senior portraits, I did family portraits, I did weddings, can you believe it? And all while I was getting my design degree. So I was also doing logos and branding and slide presentations for people and websites and all the things. And I think I even remember doing like prom hairdos for like my friends that were still in high school.
Just doing it all.
Because I was like, let me just get some experience doing some stuff, you know? And that was a great, hi Ash, miss you. That was a great experience for me because I got to dabble in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see what I like to do, what I don't like to do, who I like to work with, who I don't like to work with. And so I recommend that in aspect of your business. When you're just starting, try stuff. Mm-hmm. You're young, dabble around, try some things. But today we're talking about taking your business to the next level. I like how we synced that up. Next level. So when you're taking your business to the next level, that requires some niching down to your target market to really hone in on who you're serving. There's a saying that says, if you're trying to be everything to everyone, you'll be nothing to no one. And I totally believe that, full-heartedly believe that is true. And I talk to a lot of people on a regular basis who are like, I'm doing all the things. I'm adding all these bunch of services because
it's just really overwhelming because you're trying to do so much.
But you think, I mean, it makes sense. You think you're going to get more business by just adding more things, like, oh, more services and more things. But really, you're really watering down your expertise. So I'm talking fast because I get real excited.
She gets really excited.
You're really excited and really passionate about stuff. But as an industry grows, you have to niche down even more to make a mark in your industry. So true. Ash says, so true, yo.
So here's the thing. We always use this example for photographers, right? Especially now that technology is so widely available. So many people are picking up cameras and are becoming wedding photographers so quickly. And that industry just feels flooded. So what does it look like to narrow your niche, to really specialize in something, and just to become super, super known in one field, one industry, one area, so that you are like an expert in that field. And that's the sweet spot that you want to be searching for.
And it makes it a lot easier to market to those people too. So let's just say you have like a ton of different services and you're not getting any work because you're not marketing to anything because you don't know, like, it's so overwhelming. How do you market to photography, to brides, to seniors, to design, to logos? Like, how are you going to market to all those people? But if you niche down to a very specific market, you can craft a marketing plan to know where to find those people, to know what to say to those people, to
Suddenly
attract those
very
people.
doable. Super doable.
Exactly. So we would just suggest niching down, creating a target market that you're going after, and you're actually going to make more money from doing that. So we have a few benefits.
So one of the first benefits, of course, is what we talked about, becoming a specialist in that basically field or industry, right? So you're going to be the number one people go to in your field because you're such a specialist, you're so professional, and basically you're your customer's first or even their only choice, which is a great place to be.
Yeah. I love this question here. It says, what are you ladies known for? And I love this because this is so great. So like when we started out, I'm dabbling in a bunch of different things, and what we've really come to love that I really loved is, I have a expertise in graphic and web design, and my passion was helping entrepreneurs launch what they love. So that's really where our niche came about, is launching what they love, and then even more than that, we like to launch quickly. So we can launch your website in like 5 days flat. And I had a gal that was a friend of mine, and she had a friend come to her and be like, I have got to launch my website like yesterday. And my friend was like, I have the team for you. So she knew how to talk about me, how to talk about our company, because we have a very specific niche. So that's what that was a great question.
We're specialists in that, in going live super quickly. So
especially for the creative entrepreneurs.
Yes, and the lady bosses out there on the internet.
Exactly. Okay, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
You're totally fine. We're just killing it with benefits of why you should narrow your niche. So the other thing that we really love to talk about is word of mouth, basically marketing. So when you narrow your niche, your word of mouth marketing is going to be so much stronger. And the real reason why is because you are basically working with a group of peers who are able to speak to each other. You're able to speak with their language, and they're able to just explain what you do so quickly and easily that you just come top of mind when they think of, okay, who's a wedding photographer in this area that specializes in this type of photography? You're the number one name on the list.
Exactly. Yeah, and a long time ago when I was first starting out, I was doing all the things. And I had a friend of mine who was trying to explain to someone what I did. And I was doing the photography, and I was doing the design and the web design and all that. And he's like, yeah, she's just like really creative, and she has this business, and and it didn't really make any sense. And of course that didn't stick with them, because it's not very memorable when someone just says, yeah, she's really creative, and she just does like all the things. So I feel like that was a really good contrast between that guy trying to explain what I do and then what we do today, and then my friend saying, oh my gosh, you've got to get connected with this team
to go live yesterday.
Because that's going to help you launch yesterday. So I feel like that's a really good example of how people can talk about you when you're laser focused. It makes it easy. Makes word of mouth easy.
Super easy. The third thing is that you're going to make more money.
Make more money.
Why? Because you can charge a higher price when you have a more niche market. So because you're a specialist in your field, you're seen as an expert, you're their first or only choice, you can up your prices, and you're going to end up making way more money in the end, which sounds crazy. You're like, wait, I'm going to market to fewer people and I'm going to make more money. Yes, we wholeheartedly believe that and have seen that to be true.
Hi, Amy. I see you on. Hi.
So fun. We get to see all these people
Okay, so I wanted to make a mention about that, though, because... Okay, so when people are thinking about like, oh, I need to get this done, or I need to have this done, they want a professional to do it. They don't just want they don't want Joe Schmo who just like maybe can kind of do it too. They want someone professional. And so when they see someone that specializes exactly in what they're looking for, they're willing to pay more for a targeted product, because they're like, dang, like she's used to doing that all the time, so she must be really good at that, and she's got like a whole portfolio of only doing that, so that's a lot of experience. So to me, that's worth paying a top dollar for, rather than someone who's just going to try to figure it out for you.
Yeah. And then the next benefit that we talk about too is you're going to have a higher and faster conversion rate. You're going to be booking clients like Girl Scouts selling Girl Scout cookies outside of a grocery store, because people are going to just know that you do one thing so well, and they're going to be able to know what language you're speaking, because you are basically speaking right at them. You're speaking their language. And also systems. Can we talk about business systems, like a little geeky for a second here? When you are doing 12 different kinds of services and marketing to 12 different kinds of people, that's a lot of processes that you have. What if you just had one process, one specialization? That's going to make running your business even so much easier, quicker, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah. You're just going to have clients booking you and rolling, because it's going to be even that much easier.
Yeah. I love what you were saying about a higher conversion to sale, because if you specialize in something really specific, you're more likely to turn the heads of someone who's interested in that. So now you're only talking to the people who are at least interested in what you do.
Right. Their heads are already turned towards your business.
So that's a really easy sale. And then what Hunter mentioned, if you only have to create one process for one service, that's very valuable. And so your business will be really turnkey. Whereas if you have a bunch of services, it's hard to keep up with all the different processes for all the different things, or all the different products or something. But if you just have one thing, you can make it turnkey and then be more profitable, because you're able to spit out more products, more services, and create more sales.
And then the last thing, most valuable, we think, is that you're going to be happier if you narrow your niche. And really, the reason why is because you're working in an industry that you love. You're working in a specific area that you love because you've tried all these things, and this one's your favorite. And also, you are working with the people that you want to work with, right? The people that bring you joy, the people that you love to serve, and that's ultimately going to make sitting down to your desk or going out and shooting a wedding or, coaching somebody, that's going to make it that much more just meaningful and valuable, and you're going to enjoy your job way more.
Yeah, I would say take it back to the processes too. Like,
oh yeah,
when you have so many processes going, you feel like a little hamster in a wheel. Like you just can't keep up, when you're trying and you're behind the computer and you're like, I can't make this work.
There's too much to do.
Yeah, so I would say that would make me happier.
Yeah, you got just fewer things on your task list because you're just killing it at this point.
Yeah.
So we've talked to you about all the reasons why you should narrow your niche. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to get down to the basics, basically, of how do you actually start to narrow your niche.
Yeah.
And we have just a little formula that we love to use for that, and it's basically finding this little sweet spot that Promise is going to talk about.
Yeah, so, when you are creating a niche in your business, you're most likely relying on your expertise, which is maybe you've been trained in, or maybe you've had a lot of experience in, or maybe you've trained yourself in. And for me, that's web design, graphic design. And then in the industry, I've seen it most often used how people take their experience and their expertise, and then they pair it with a passion of some sort. So
like a hobby.
In industry, they're interested in a specific client that they love working with. So it has something to do with your passions, a hobby, something you love. And so that's exactly what we explained earlier.
You have a really good example about that, right? Because your fave thing to do, other than when you're working on websites, is to...
Yeah. So, I love the girl bosses that we work with. I love the girl bosses, and I love helping creative entrepreneurs launch what they love. So that is I feel like that's our niche right now. But sometimes I like to brainstorm. I like to think about, I love to dream, and I was like, if I wasn't doing what I'm doing now, I feel like I'm a CrossFitter, so I work out at a CrossFit box, and if you guys are into CrossFit, go ahead and leave a comment. Hey, Deb and Danielle, loved chatting with you live the other day on our website. Okay, back to what we were talking about.
CrossFit.
Okay, so I think it would be a great niche if at some point, maybe I was like, oh, I would love to do web design, or my company would love to do web design for CrossFit boxes, and specialize working with the CrossFit owners, creating a bomb website for their CrossFit box, and really helping them rake in the money, rake in the subscribers, and then helping people get fit would be amazing. So I could really get passionate about that. So I've seen a lot of people do that, and they pair their expertise with a passion of theirs, and they create a really unique niche. Now, the one important thing about that is you just need to make sure there's a demand in the industry. So you need to do some polling, some asking, some just digging a little bit, and then maybe even some trial and error to figure out, is this marketable? Do people need this? Do people want this?
But can you imagine if you were you're a CrossFit gym owner and you go to somebody else, hey, who did your website? It looks amazing. And they can just have your name top of mouth, You're just going to be able to book those.
I like crazy. Top of mouth.
Top of mouth, top of mind, tip of your tongue. It's going to come right out, basically, which is awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
So we just really believe in finding that sweet spot. Basically, third grade, think Venn diagram, right? You're figuring out your expertise, you're figuring out your passion, and you're figuring out your favorite people to work with, and where those three things meet is that sweet spot that you want to narrow your niche.
And so we have actually a whole little formula that we'll explain to you that you can get in a few minutes for that. But a lot of people have used it, and a lot of people have found it helpful. But it's a lot of trial and error too to figure out what you're good at, who you like to work with, and what you like to do. So
now basically we've talked about here's how you narrow niche, here's why you should do it. So now that you have, right, that's your first step one, your first action point in December is narrow your niche. And then basically we've got three things that you should do after that. And the first one, and basically the reason why we've come up with this actionable list, is because the biggest issue that we have is people come to us and they say, I know my market, I know my niche, but now I have no idea how to message to them or how to design to them. That's our sweet office dog, Parker. Parker's just like, I want to be on the live.
Yeah.
Please. He might come up. But we just really feel like we've had a lot of people reach out to us saying, hey, I don't know how to explain what I do to the people that I want to serve, and I don't know how to make my website explain what I do to what I want to do and who I want to serve.
Yeah, I feel like communication is the toughest part.
Communication,
they don't know what to
messaging.
say. We don't know what people. People don't know what to say, and especially in a way that makes them different, that helps them stand out, and in a way that's concise and that's interesting to listen to. So communication regarding your niche is one of the most important things.
Yeah, so the first actionable step that we have is to create what we call a brand bio. Basically, it's a concise statement and it really explains what you do, why you're unique, how your customer is going to feel after they've used your product, and what their long-term, like higher goal benefit basically is from using your product or service. And we love the brand bio. We dish it out like crazy. We recommend that you put it at the top of your site. We recommend that you put it in your social media profiles. We've got lots of
Someone's here
downstairs. We got some doorbells ringing. We love it. So we think that your brand bio should just be basically on everything. And the reason why that we say that is because we really believe in the 5-second rule. We think that in 5 seconds or less, when people land on your site, we should find out what you do and who you serve, like at the top within 5 seconds, so quick, because otherwise we're going to lose interest, and so is your ideal client. Like they're going to bounce off your page, and that's just actually internet research. Like people don't spend any time on your website.
They only spend like 3 to 5 seconds on your website, and then they're gone. So, and that's if you don't grab their attention, or if they feel lost or confused in what you do. So yeah, the brand bio is just going to help you clearly articulate exactly what you do, what makes you different, and also it's also going to help you clearly and simply explain what your product or service is so people can understand it. Because there's a lot of people that use like all kinds of jargon that people don't understand.
It's got to be really clear. And I love that somebody's saying we got to write this down. So we are going to talk about where you can get this brand bio at the end of this, because we have this awesome resource that we dish out to you guys and we love it. But we want to give you a couple examples like of real brand bios that people have used, like basically using our resource in our PDF.
Yeah. We've had thousands of people use this and find it very, very helpful.
Super helpful. We get emails all the time saying, oh my gosh, I totally know what to say now when I'm at the grocery store, I'm out to drinks, and people ask me what to do.
You can you can use it at cocktail hour. Because I don't know about you guys, but when people are like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, how much time do you have? Because,
right? It's got to be less than 30 seconds, right? We're not talking elevator pitch here. We're talking in 1 sentence or less, you can say what you do.
Yeah.
And so one of the amazing examples that we got from a customer that used our brand bio is, are you ready for this one? This one's a little meaty.
Okay, so this is an example of someone using
the brand bio.
Our brand bio that you can get for free. We're totally not marketing this, but we're just using this as a free little gift today because
we just love it.
It's been so helpful for people. Okay, so here's a live example.
Is my professional photography and marketing services. Okay,
Perfect.
so we know
Very
what they
clear.
do. Photography and marketing. Visually set your brand apart so we know exactly what it does, so you can expand your influence and make your mark.
Yeah, that's good.
That's it. I mean, that's one sentence. That's hefty, and that's a lot of information that they're getting, and they know exactly what that person is doing within 3 to 5 seconds.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
This next one's cute too.
This next one is one of our favorites. Okay. It's our modern and edgy, so we know what their style is.
Ooh, they're modern and edgy. Okay, so that's going to make them different, set them apart. Okay, so we're talking about modern and edgy what?
Modern and edgy bridal hair amplifies the beauty.
Okay, the bridal hair. So she's a hairstylist. She's doing bridal hair, and she's modern and edgy.
She amplifies the beauty within you. This is modern and edgy.
Modern and edgy bridal hair. We know exactly what she does. We know what makes her different. What else?
She amplifies the beauty within you.
Okay, so that's really like the deep mission behind what she's doing.
She really wants you
She's
to
not
feel
making
so
you
beautiful.
look fake. She's not like making you look like someone else. She wants you to look like
the best version.
The best version of yourself.
Which I think is the next part actually. So you can be the best version of yourself.
There we go.
On the most important day of your life. How sweet is that?
Yeah.
Like she cares about the fact that this is a huge day. She cares about making sure that you look your best without looking fake, and she cares that your style is modern and edgy. Like that is such a niche market that she's speaking to right there, and I know exactly what she does.
I think that's perfect. I love that one.
Yeah.
And so we were able to work. Okay, so I got to work with her on a brand clarity call where we got to like walk through it and do it together, and it was so fun.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
And she was like so appreciative at the end, right? Because she was like, oh my gosh, I know exactly how to talk to my clients now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And so we have this on our website. It's just right at the bottom. You can scroll on down. If you want to get a brand bio, go to this. Otherwise, if you want to send us a direct message after this chat, we'll make sure to just shoot it right to your inbox as well.
Yep.
And so the second action step.
That's a free.
Totally free.
Download. It's got a formula that all you do is like plug in the words and follow it, and then you can
super easy.
Craft your statement.
And then you can go for it. So that was the first step. First step, craft your brand bio. Second step is to make sure your website visually attracts your ideal client.
Exactly. So I was talking to a guy the other day, and he was trying. He's like, he's a wedding photographer, so he's going to attract the brides, and he's a guy. So I'm like, okay, we can do this. And
we can work with you.
So he's attracting. And the brides that he attracts or that he wants to attract are like Southern brides. So he's in the South, so he wants to attract Southern brides. But he had like this bright blue Microsoft. The website looked like a dude's website, and he's trying to attract brides. And so when you know your target market and you know your niche, you have to create a website that not only reflects your personal style, which I definitely recommend. I wanted his website to represent him as well, but it's got to attract that Southern bride that he's looking for. So it's got to attract your ideal client. So you need to understand, what does your client like? What do they look at? What are they used to seeing? Where do they shop? What magazines are they reading? What kind of visuals are they attracted to? Because when they land on your website, you want them to feel like this brand and this website was made for them. And so creating a website that attracts that ideal client is going to make them feel like, oh, you're my people. I belong with you.
This is like, we love Chip and Joanna Gaines, right? Okay, if they're like Hearth and Hand homies, they've bought out Target at that section, and then, are you gonna have like a super dark and like moody website? Like, probably not. Like, if your contingency is like brights and whites and loves those kind of things, and they're all about Darling Magazine and Hearth and Hand and Magnolia and whatever, you're gonna pick those visuals that you're gonna pull those inspiration from all those different things that your client loves and that you hopefully love too, because you're working with people that you like as well.
Exactly. And for those of you guys that are just tuning on live right now, we are talking about the number one way to take your brand to the next level before the new year. And it's all about really honing in that niche and developing that niche, creating that target market, and then really marketing to them. So that very first point that we made was, once you've developed that niche, you want to create a brand bio. So you need to make sure your message is clear to people. You're putting that on your website. You're talking about that statement that you made to people. But then you're also creating that website that is going to attract that ideal client. So that's where the marketing comes in. That's where the branding comes in. And that's where you're going to attract them and convert them to a client.
Yeah, and then we have one last step for you, which we've talked about this about before the new year, right? So we're talking about,
before you go into this last one.
Yeah,
I wanted to say also, for those of you that are just I just lost my earring. That are just logging on, we've had an amazing, awesome Cyber Monday sale.
Yes.
And Black Friday sale, and so we have 50% off. You just use the code CyberLive, all caps, no spaces. And you can create a website that attracts your ideal client. With that, we have really modern and clean web designs, and all of them are so easy to customize. So you can take into account your ideal client and customize the graphics and the photos to help it really look like your target market.
Totally. So then the last thing,
number 3,
after brand bio, after making sure your website visually attracts your dream client, is to make sure that you're only displaying photos, graphics, images, or work in your portfolio that reflects and support and showcase your niche. And so what does that mean? We have photographers, for example, we bring this example up all the time, who are like, well, I really specialize in senior portrait photography, but I have to have my weddings on there. I have to have my family portraits. I have to have my newborns just because I've taken them. And we're like, why? We would recommend, no, don't put them on your website. You only want to. Oh my gosh, hi Kimmy G. She was my roommate at United Conference. G. What's up, Kimmy G photographer? So she is the best too, because she's actually a really good example of this. She is an amazing wedding photographer, and she's got amazing photos on her website of her wedding photography. But you're not going to see a bunch of other stuff of her services on her homepage, right? You're going to see her brides on her homepage, and she's going to showcase those first and alone. And if people want to reach out to her and get family portraits or newborn portraits, it's not like she's going to say no unless she really wants to, but she's really attracting that niche market customer first, the very first.
Yeah. And I feel like, even I feel like this, sometimes you might be just emotionally attached to certain projects or certain shoots or certain just things that you've done that you want to put on your website. But I have learned the most that birds of a feather flock together. So people, when they see something that they want on your website, they're going to inquire about it.
Yeah.
So
whether you want to do it or not.
Okay, so I had this gal who she had a design portfolio, and I was looking it over, and I was critiquing it, and she hates to do business cards. I don't know why, but she hates business cards. But they were on her website, and she had logos and web design and all the things, and business cards. And so she's like, I hate business cards. And I was like,
well, why do you have it on there?
Why are they on your site? And she's like, well, I can do business card design.
We're like, we recognize that you're able and capable, but do you really want to?
Because you know what? Everyone who wants a business card is going to see your business card on that website, and they're inquiring with you to do that business card, and you're going to be like, why am I always doing work that I hate doing?
Don't wanna do.
It's because it's on your website, and people see it, and they want it. So you should only showcase. I'm going to slow down for this like a preacher. Only showcase things that you want to get inquiries on. Mm-hmm. And that even includes like the types of even the type of style, like if you're a designer, the type of style that you're portraying on your website should be the type of design that you want to do. Mm-hmm. And the same thing if you're a photographer. Are you showcasing the types of clients that you want to work with on a daily basis? Because when people see their birds of a feather that flock together, they're going to be like, oh, hey, I'm inquiring.
That's definitely who I'm booking, because they've worked with people who I want to work, like look that style, right? If you're doing photography, like, oh my gosh, I see myself in that dress. I see myself in that style of wedding. I see myself with that kind of photos mm-hmm. in my wedding album when I'm done. Mm-hmm. And that is so, so important. Look, Kimmy G saying
Kimmy G says so true.
She knows.
It really is true.
She even talked about, too, this year, how about she honed in her photography style, and she learned it, and she nailed it, and she updated her website this year to reflect that, because that's the kind of style that she wanted to do. Yeah. So she's a really good example of that.
That's awesome.
So awesome.
So yeah, only showcase things that support and showcase your niche.
So yeah, I think we've got just another recap real quick for people who just joined us. We're dishing out our number one way to take your business to the next level before the new year. We talked about narrowing your niche mm-hmm. and how you'll just supremely benefit from that, from like marketing to fewer people. You're going to make more money. You're going to be happier.
Yeah.
We talked about creating your brand bio, making sure you know exactly what you do in 3 to 5 seconds and that you can communicate that well. We talked a little bit about making sure your website attracts your client, attracts your dream customer, and then visually. And then we talked about only using portfolio or imagery or work that you've done in the past that talks about or really reflects your niche market, reflects the work that you want to do, all that kind of good stuff. Mm-hmm. And that is everything that we think that you guys should be doing for the new year.
Before the new year.
The new year.
Yeah, you can get your brand bio on your site. You can tailor your graphics to attract your ideal client, and you can pull stuff off your website that doesn't reflect your target market. So those are really easy things that are going to take you to the next level in your business.
Yeah, and we wanted to make sure that we did get some questions in too. We had our first question. This is Go Live only for Squarespace? Which, good question, since we have a 50% off our website template sale. It is not just for Squarespace. We're also on Showit, which is another amazing platform. Mm-hmm. You can do a little bit of information searching and research about Showit on showit.co. They're great. They usually market more towards photographers, but we've seen a lot of people use their platform to coaches or business mentors. Yeah. I'm trying to think of other ones, but Showit's amazing too. And we also are on Squarespace, so not just Squarespace.
And I see. Are you done with that question?
Yeah, I'm done with that question.
Okay, I see here. How do you feel about FAQ pages? Ooh. Do people still read those? I feel like FAQ pages are great. People don't spend a lot of time reading on your website. They're not going to read long paragraphs of things. So I would keep things very short and to the point. And really on your website, what you want people to do is, especially if you have a service-related industry or related business, you want to pique people's interest enough to contact you, mm-hmm, right? Mm-hmm. So answer whatever questions are on the surface there that are going to help people want to make that inquiry. And don't get too in the weeds with your FAQ to the point where you're hindering them from inquiring. Because sometimes there's just too much information. So don't overwhelm them with too much information. Keep it to the point in which you're answering people's questions enough to get them to inquire with you, and then you can talk about the details with them.
Totally.
That's what I would recommend.
Another really great question we got earlier is, do we have any tips for writing an about me on your website? And this is such a great question. A lot of people don't know how to talk about themselves.
Yeah,
and
you're good to answer this question.
I love this question. I love about me pages because I think that's where like the really good stuff is.
And you're like a
Basically,
professional journalist.
So I was a journalism major in college, and that's what I do here at Go Live is I do a lot of the communications and marketing and writing and copywriting. And for me, the things that I want to see on an about me page are the little things that make you as the business owner different, right? So I'm going on the about page to learn about your business, but ultimately I want to know like who is Promise Tangeman? What does she love to do? What makes her different? What makes me different if it's my website or something like that? So you want to include some personal things first, and I usually really recommend that. Some people are like, oh, I don't want to get too personal on my about page. I would recommend dishing out some of your hobbies, your things, and then after you've kind of introduced yourself as the business owner, then you want to talk about maybe why you got started in your industry, why you decided to start your business, what makes you most passionate about what you do, and then trickle in that little bit of your business that's going to entice somebody to book you next. And then you want to clinch it at the end with a little bit more details about you as a person, because ultimately, especially with the people we work with, creative girl bosses, if you're in there, you are going to basically be able to like they're going to be booking you as a person, right? They are really going to be sold by you. So if you are giving them those details that they can connect with in the about page, that's really what we would recommend.
Yeah, and I would also say to not make a novel out of it because people won't read it. So the shorter the better, because people, like I said earlier, people just don't read things anymore. And it's not a bad thing, but you just need to know that ahead of time. And then also bulleting things out, creating like different layouts so it's not just like a long paragraph to read, because it's hard to decipher through that. So
one journalism tip that I can give you guys too is you really don't want more than 2 sentences in a paragraph. And you're like, wait a second, I thought a paragraph was like 3 to 5 sentences when I was doing academic writing. Nope, not on your website. 1 paragraph, 2 sentences, like maybe max.
Yeah.
And so that's really going to keep it short and readable.
Yeah. So another question here, is it possible to become good at design and illustration being self-taught? And that's a great question. I think it all comes down to your experience and the reps that you're getting. You have to do a freaking lot of it to become good at it. So I personally went to school for design, and I think everybody's different, you know. Through my classes that I took, I really pushed through some hurdles. Like I hated my like Illustrator and Photoshop classes because I loved painting and fine art, and like I hated the technical stuff of it. So I really needed those classes to like really push me through. And then once I got on the other side of it, I was like, oh my gosh, I can literally create anything I want through these platforms. Some people don't need that push. They just already have just the curiosity and the determination to get through and learn those things on their own. But I would just encourage you, if you're not going to take courses, to be a student, be studying the fonts and the spacing, because personally I can tell, I'm like, oh, this person has not been trained in like the kerning and the leading and all the technical stuff that comes with design. Just those little things I can tell. But it all comes with reps and how much you're practicing, how much you're doing. So stop waiting for the moons to align and everything to be perfect, and just start doing it.
I see too, she's asking she's saying for a fashion blogger too. So that's, if you want to become a designer, that would be the thing. She's saying, hey, P.S., I'm running my business. I'm killing it out here. And also, should I be making my own graphics? And I think that's really a combination of a couple different decisions.
Yeah.
One, do you have the budget to hire somebody? If you don't, then you can keep rocking it by yourself, and you can learn a lot of things using cheap resources. If you guys have ever heard of lynda.com, Lynda, it's really awesome. Or even Skillshare or something like that. You can get a lot of resources through that, or you can use free things and rock it out until you can. But what I would recommend is, hey, get a couple friends behind you who you know are going to be really honest and say, you know what, this design doesn't look good. Because otherwise you're going to be really close to it, and you're going to be like, this is my baby, I made it myself. And so we would just really recommend that, you know, if that's not in the budget, to hire somebody or to outsource that, that you are just doing it wisely, right? So you're finding resources online and really trying to dig in there. You're finding inspiration too from other places, like grab some really beautiful magazines that inspire you, that are the look you want to go for, and figure out how can you use that inspiration. And then thirdly is make sure you have a really good honest opinion, right? This is not something to call your mom about necessarily, unless she's like my mom Susan, who is real honest, right?
Which we hope she's on here, right?
Which I think Susan is on here, you guys. Shout out to Mama Suze if she's on here. She's
cool.
the best.
And I have something to say. Are you done?
I'm done with that.
Okay. So I also have to say, I've seen people make mistakes when it comes to building and launching their business and their brand. And I've seen it both and so I feel like if you are starting out, and let's just say you're 1 to 3 years in your business, I really believe that it'll save you time, it'll save you money, and you can learn about your business if you do it yourself. So I actually believe that you can really learn a lot from your business. There has been people that have started, like they haven't even started anything yet, and they're spending thousands of dollars on creating a professional brand, a professional this and that and the other thing, and they don't even know their business yet. They don't even know who they're marketing to. Like they think they do. They are going to try their product for the first time, and they think they know what they need on their website, but it's not been tested or proven. So in the end, they end up spending thousands of dollars
on something that they don't keep in the end.
And they realize like, oh crap, like this isn't what my people need. This isn't the demographic I need to be marketing to. My website, I need to have like something way different by the time they actually get their feet wet and actually get doing their business. So I personally see that as a huge mistake. When you outsource, when you hire the professional designers too early, and you're not getting your feet wet with your design. I think there's a beautiful stage. I can like be on a soapbox about this. I feel like there's a beautiful stage in your business when you're 1 to 3 years, when you're trying things, you're experimenting, you're learning your target market. You have a lot to learn about your business before I think you should go and spend thousands of dollars to have like a custom site made. So I think the 1 to 3 years is like perfect for like a template that you customize and you just experiment with. You see what people like, what people don't like, how people respond, the navigation, the user interface of the site, and also like how they like your services in your product. Then after 4 or 5 years, you're like, okay, I know my target market, I know my people, I know what I need on my site now, and so now's the time to invest in something really custom that's going to help me like stand out from the crowd, and also like just a smart decision when you choose to take your brand to the next level, but then that you know your business.
Totally. We feel good about that question? We feel wrapped?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We've got a couple questions about photos and where you should put them on your website, but also how you should take them if you don't have a gorgeous office. And I think I'm a good person to ask this because before I was working for Promise, I was working out of my guest room. Okay, it was not beautiful. It was, my husband works in residence life, so it was literally on a college campus, right? Nothing pretty about living in a dorm room. And so basically I had to learn how to make a little DIY faux studio, right? Somewhere in my home. And a couple different tips that we would really recommend are, hey, get a white wall behind you and find a really beautiful window that's got some natural sunlight. And if you can do that, you're going to be able to find that your photography for taking pictures for yourself is going to be so much better. So that would be my 2 quick tips: is find a white wall or whatever wall you want that's near a really, really awesome window that's bringing in natural light. So that's that. As far as we got one question, where should you put your photo of yourself on your homepage, or should you do that at all? And I think, especially if you are in a service-based industry where you are the service, 100%. It needs to be on the homepage.
Totally agreed. Yeah. If you have a larger product base where maybe you're not the center of the business, I don't really think it needs to be on the homepage. It can be in the footer. It can be on the about page. It can be,
If the product is the selling point, then maybe you don't need to. If you're the selling point, you need to be on it.
Boom. Just this.
Just if you're in it, just do it. So we got another one about tips on changing from a service-based business to a product-based business.
That's a great question. I feel like I need to know more info.
Yeah, we'd like to see more info about that one. Can you email us at hello@golivehq.co and give us a little bit more context on that one?
Okay, let's talk about that for a minute, though, because I feel like I have some stuff to talk about that. We're closing in on the time here, but so I love the aspect of having a service-based business, right? Because you're having like a one-on-one relationship with your clients, but a lot of times that is not scalable. So if you talk to like business owners, and like, I'm sure you guys all are familiar with the term scalable, but like a lot of like businessy people will talk about the word scalable, basically meaning like, and I like to refer to as like, if Oprah were to feature you on her favorite things, would you be able to handle the demand and the influx of inquiries coming at you? And a service-based business is like a one-on-one type of business. So like it needs Hunter to help you, right? It needs me to help you. So if there's like 20,000 people that are hitting my website, I can't help everybody, right? And so that's where I feel like a product comes in very handy. So is there a way that you can create a product? Maybe it's not the one-on-one type of service that you're offering, but maybe it's just a little margin of your expertise that you can package up into like a PDF or a course or a small product that people can then DIY or do on their own. So let's just say like you're a makeup artist maybe, and like, you know, I'm putting makeup on Hunter and she's hired me personally to do it. But then maybe I also come up with like the 5 tips of how to create makeup on your own, and I sell that for like, you know, $10 or something on my site. Or maybe there's like a course that teaches you how to put your own makeup on. That is a very scalable product. So then if Oprah mentions you on her top 5 things or top 50 things or top things, then you have a product that can automatically dish out to all of those people. And so that is what scalable means. So so I actually love that topic. I don't know if that's actually the question you were asking, but I love talking about scalable business models with service-based businesses and product businesses. So
we've got a couple more questions on here too, but we want to just make sure that you guys know if you're on here, we did extend our sale. We just want to mention this one more time. So we did extend our 50% off website template sale for one more day. So you can get it for still one more day.
Yeah.
Using the code CYBERLIVE, all caps, no spaces, and you can still get 50% off our website templates for Squarespace and Showit, which is so awesome. So that's that. We've got time for one more question before we wrap this up. And I think that this is a good one right here, which is, what is the right or wrong way to showcase testimonials on your site?
I think that was by Jared.
I think that was Jared. So I think that the number one thing that I would recommend is, we talked about this a little bit earlier too, is shorter text. We're getting hearts. We are, watch out.
That looks new, right?
It does look new. Is that we see too much text on websites, right? So people have written this novel. They loved working with you. They wrote 17 paragraphs about how much they loved working with you. We don't want to see that on your website. We want to see 2 or 3 sentences maximum about the best nuggets from their testimonial, and we want to see that on your website. And
I'm sorry, did you just say 1 or 2 sentences?
Literally 1, yeah, maybe 3 if they're short.
No, that's great.
1,
we
maybe
want
2.
1 statement.
We want 1 statement, 1 simple statement in a font that's readable. I see a lot of people using funky cursive fonts saying, oh, you know, this person wrote it, and I can't read that. I can't read it. So it needs to be readable. It needs to be short. And it needs to be just a little snippet of a testimonial on your website. And we would really highly recommend, if you don't have at least 1 testimonial on your homepage, we would change that immediately. We want to make sure that you have somebody talking about you or your business on your homepage.
Yeah, because, I mean, you guys are credible, right? We want to know that you're credible. And so people want to, I like to read through, even though I know like they're handpicked by the business owners or whatever, I like to read through to see like what people are saying about them. Like, what is that 1 statement that is a takeaway? So you can like cut out, you know, specific little sentences and just post those on your website. You don't have to take the whole email.
Yeah, don't need to do that whole thing. You can chop.
That's all
journalistic integrity,
that's all I got.
You can chop it. I think that's all we have today. We got a couple questions. Are we going to save this? We are going to save this video, which is going to be so fun, and we will have it up for you guys, and we will try and figure out we're going to try and figure out how to put it up on some other social media platforms once we figure that out. Once we figure out the tech.
This is our first live.
Live. We're little newbies at the live.
Yeah.
And we want to just be able to share this with you guys too. And we hope that you guys are just learning to kill it before 2018 rolls around. We just really wish you the best of luck in your business. We wish you the best of luck in this month as you try and narrow your niche and as you try and tackle your messaging and your design for those.
And then let's remind them where they can get the brand bio.
Okay, so we have the brand bio, which is one of the first things that you should do after you narrow your niche. Faux free. You can find it at www.golivehq.co, or if you just go to our Instagram profile, we will have that link for you in our link tree. You can find that in brand bio, and then you can go and find it, and it's free, straight to your inbox, all that kind of good stuff. And also, if you sign up for it today, you're gonna get another email in a week or so. I think it's in a week.
Yep.
That will tell you basically more about narrowing your niche, why it's important, how to do it,
and how to. We have like a little formula that. So if you're wondering like, oh, how I need help in that department, we have a little formula that you'll get in a week.
Start here.
That will help you work through that.
Yeah. Well, and thanks so much for joining us, you guys. We just honestly, I think I had a lot of fun with this.
I had a lot of fun.
We had some really good questions too, and
Chelsea says such an awesome first live.
Sweet Chelsea, thanks for that. And good voices for a podcast. Well, shooty, we'll think about that one.
Oh, and Heather has an amazing hair Instagram. It's crazy.
Ooh, make sure to follow Heather Chapman Hair, you guys. She's got amazing hair Instagram.
So good.
But yeah, we just hope that you guys have an amazing Tuesday night. Please reach out to us if you have questions about this live. We'd love to answer them. And we'd love to just hear about your progress this next month before 2018 rolls around.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks, you guys.
Bye. Have a great day. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, I'm still pressing.